if you're wondering if you're a video game studio, right, and you want to get this tax break, so how would you go about it? And this is the only reason I'm talking about it, is essentially it's got to be a British studio, so you've got to have a postbox in the UK. You've got to be making a video game, so not a board game. And you have to pass a cultural test, so your product must be culturally British.
Do we have? Is it similar to the citizenship test? Do you reckon? Do you reckon this product?
Do we have any details? Do we have any details on what this cultural test involves?
Yeah, actually, we do. I have the checklist right here. Number 1, does the game feature a gollywog? Number 2...
Are there 2 women discussing someone that is not a man?
If the answer is yes, it's not British.
Jamie, would I bring up the British cultural test without having read the whole cultural test and me wanting to tell you all about it?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh my God.
Wonderful, Rob.
Right. This test, by the way, for video games is for some mad reason administered by the British Film Institute. I think it's for the same reason that these are the same people that certify British movies for the same tax breaks, and they just can't be bothered to set up something for...
When all you've got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Sure.
Exactly.
Let's hear it.
So you need 16 out of 31 possible points to pass. Up to 4 points
if I don't pass, will I be virtually deported?
Up to 4 points may be awarded in respect of the contribution of the video game to the promotion, development, and enhancement of British culture. Now, up to 4 points may be awarded if the video game is set in the UK or in another European EU state. This was before. They haven't updated it since we left the UK.
This is a pre-Brexit checklist.
Yes. So, despite which one's the one? The Legion, the thing that just came out, where it's set in London.
Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah. So Watch Dogs Legion would have easily gotten 4 whole points, 25% of what they needed, simply by being set in London or any other European state. So if your game is set in Latvia, for example, you're good. You still qualify for UK tax breaks.
I do enjoy this idea that if you make a game that is set in a fictional world, you get 1 point or no points or whatever, and so
no,
you could only.
If you still get 1 point, regardless, if it's 25% or less set in the UK, you still get 1 point. So if it's set in outer space, you still get a point. Don't worry about it.
So, Disco Elysium was set in a really crushing, destroyed society that just really had nothing going for it. How many points did that
get? It depends whether the reviewers played a fascist or not when they were reviewing it, essentially.
0 out for no failed communist revolution, unfortunately.
You can also
4
get
out of 4
up to...
if they got as far as doing race science.
They were like, when's this Measurehead guy become the main character?
You can also get up to 4 points if 2 or 3 of the main characters are qualifying characters, i.e. if they are recognisably from the UK. So if your main character has a flat cap on, you are definitely in the money as regards this particular tax break. Or, and this is the amazing bit, there's a coda to this, or where their nationality/species cannot be determined. So if your character is an alien, they are worth the same amount of points that if you had a flat cap and you could buy an in-game whippet.
That is distinctly un-English, because of an alien being the same as an Englishman, I don't think so.
No, it's look, they initially put it by, right, and Buckingham Palace got a look at it. And Her Majesty was reportedly quite upset at the lack of representation of her lizard people. So, compromise. This is legislation. You have to make compromises.
Well, I mean,
right?
there was a sub-clause at the end of this thing that said if your characters have really fat sausage fingers, that's an extra 10 bonus points straight off the bat.
Have you guys ever played Uncharted 3?
Yes.
You know, there's this British character there called Charlie.
Yeah.
Who's he's this sort of hard man, and he wears a fucking flat cap. And,
yeah.
And
exactly.
Now I'm starting to think maybe he was just added in there now I'm starting to think maybe that shit was just added in there for tax breaks. By no
is this a video game equivalent of the Chinese inserts that get put into major movies these days to secure release in China?
That's why that's why there was that screenshot this morning of the Elden Ring where the guy was entering Middlesbrough.
Actually, to be fair, it's just dawned on me that Elden Ring might qualify because it's all Welsh accents and Welsh names.
Yeah, I mean, you have a wolfman called Blythe. Blythe spelled Blaidd. I shit you not. I mean, they went full Welsh. I love it. Like there was a tweet like there was this tweet I saw that was like playing Elden Ring is like dreaming about being Welsh. Playing Bloodborne is about realizing you're in England. But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
But yeah, just to get, if you want to talk about your Wolfman, there is a subclause, I shit you not, this is in there, that says anthropomorphic characters are counted as EEA. So if you're anthropomorphic, you're counted in the European Union.
The furries are canonically part of the EU.
Rob, I have a really, really important question for you. What if it's an anthropomorphic aeroplane?
It would probably count, actually. But if you're wondering, well,
people on the stream have been asking what my persona is when they should be asking what's Rob's persona here.
Yeah, what is my tax-based persona?
Your tax-deductible persona.
I mean, I was going to say, if Rob was ever going to have a persona, it would be a tax-deductible one. Let's be fucking honest.
Oh god!
But this settles it. If we ever get big enough to make a video game, then we're making Rob the tax write-off character.
Exactly. Right, but if you're wondering, well, what happens if my game is set, for example, in the UK, but not in current UK, but in the past, Crusader Kings or something? Don't worry, they have an answer. Let me read you the following paragraph.
Is it Thick Bohemia?
A character who was a subject of a state or kingdom prior to that territory becoming part of the United Kingdom or any other European state will be considered a European state character for the purposes of the test. So you're playing as Henry
Can I just say something? This is like the most inclusive definition of British or European
Aarjan,
that I've ever seen. Like this is incredible. Like I mean, like they need to adapt this definition for more things, surely.
What we need to do is we need to like copy and paste this into like the Nationality and Borders Bill,
exactly.
And then just like completely upend the whole thing.
This to replace the Nationality and Borders Bill.
Well, let me. Shall I read you just as we're having this discussion? Shall I read you the next sentence in this short paragraph?
Oh, please.
An EEA, a European state character, also includes any character who, at the time of the video game is set, was subject of a colonial territory.
Yes!
Yes! This single clause has just undone the 1971 Immigration Act. Like, this is amazing. Like, this... yes, like, give British citizenship at least to, like, Commonwealth citizens. Like, naturally. I agree. I agree.
Just institute it and just have you're basically free immigration, but an inordinate number, like, you know, the new furry rush generation will move over sort of style. Just absolutely fantastic. Love it. Barriers for people, but for capital, no, come on in, doors wide open. You got a fursuit, even better.
You can, by the way, also earn single points on this test for significant representations of UK cultural heritage, representations of UK culture through creativity, and 1 point for subject or portrayal of British cultural diversity.
Putting all my fucking characters in Deerstalker cats just to get that point.
Do you think when they were developing Elden Ring, they reached out to George R. R. Martin and were like, okay, he's a diversity jackpot for this test, right? You know? Because he's got incest, he's got, nonsense, he's got, like, we just can include all of these things.